morning. It is the first day of the 24 in 48 hour readathon. I am not going to show you my face because no one wants to see my face right now. No makeup, early in the morning. It's actually 9 o'clock and I'm just starting the readathon now. But I'm not super strict about doing 24 hours. I just don't care. But what I do care about is having a day of reading. So I want to show you the setup so far. I have got my fireplaces going. I've got the classical music going on my TV. I have Rebecca, the book that I'm going to be reading. Very important to have an actual book. I've got my cup of coffee and I've got my very sleepy dog. Look at how cute Libby is. She's always so adorable. And if you're noticing what those, she got some little booties on, because she's been licking at her paws like crazy. And I don't know, I'm just worried about her. So she's kind of been hating me because I'm making her wear those little boots and a cone at night. I think she must hate me. I've also got, I'm going to be listening to an audiobook as well today. I'm going to be listening to The Time Traveler's Wife. So I've got a to-do list and I'll be listening while I'm doing these things. I need to mop hardwood floors, clean the master bath. I'm making these chickpea zucchini patties things. I'm going to clean the doors. I haven't cleaned like windows and doors and stuff for a while, so I'm going to do that, tidy upstairs and downstairs, and then clean Libby's dishes. This is the plan, right? Isn't this nice? I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Hello again, guys. So I have my face on. I went and took a shower and got ready for the day. So as I was getting ready, I was listening to The Time Traveler's Wife. I'm more than halfway through The Time Traveler's Wife, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. Like, I find their relationship, if you don't know, The Time Traveler's Wife is about a couple. She belongs to the regular world, basically, and he is able to time travel and does time travel, sometimes of his own volition and sometimes just randomly when he gets stressed out. And I'm finding, I don't know, I struggle with time travel books so much because I feel like the author who writes about it usually gets so caught up in the nitty-gritty of time traveling that it can get lost a little bit in that. And I don't really care about how time travel works. Like, it would be hard to write a book about that because you have to, keep such a close tab, such close tabs on, what's going on in all of the different periods of time. So I get that, but I don't know. I'm just finding myself like a bit annoyed that our main character just so far has just been complaining about like how you can't change anything when you time travel. You can't really tell too much about someone's future or someone's past. I guess they would all already know their past. But I feel like it's a bit repetitive with that sentiment. And I'm a bit bored by it. So I have not gotten to the point where they've conceived. That's really what I've been waiting for, because this is a book that's been recommended to me by my sister, actually, because it's about miscarriage. I have not gotten to that point yet, and I'm really only reading the book for that. So I really don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. So far, it's like a 3-star read for me. I also find that our main character, I don't know, I find him really immature for someone who is all of these various ages. I'm finding him incredibly immature. And I don't understand how you could be immature if you've literally lived all of these different lives. It's like he's constantly a 20-year-old in his mind, and I'm 36, and I can tell you there's an enormous difference. There's an enormous difference between me at 36 and me at 20, and I feel like I wouldn't want to go back to being 20. Like, I understand that when you were very young, there's a zest for life that's different, and everything is new. I feel like our main character is stuck in that, and he's not ever grown up, and that really doesn't work for me. Anyway, kind of about the time traveler's wife so far. I am hoping that once we get to the miscarriage part that I'll start to connect with the characters more. I really love Claire, our female character. I really enjoy her, and I can connect with her and understand her a little bit more. Anyway, that's where I'm at so far. I am going to hop back into Rebecca now. I've been reading for, I think, 8 hours. But I've been doing a lot of other things too. I've been cleaning a little bit and listening to Time Traveler's Wife. And then I made these awful chickpea patty things. I was not a fan. But for some reason, the last couple of weeks, my taste buds have been like really muted. So most things that I eat, I can't really taste. It's like they're all just okay. Luckily, dark chocolate and red wine are still a hit and I'm still able to taste those two things, but otherwise it's really weird. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna go and see my doctor in February about that. So yeah, I've been reading for 8 hours. I've also just finished reading Rebecca. 5 stars. Easily 5 stars. I want to read everything Daphne du Maurier has written now. I just think she's a brilliant writer. The storyline is gripping and also descriptive. She's able to do that strange pairing, and you are totally intrigued by all of the characters. And I don't know, for me, this one really hit home. Rebecca is about a woman. She's working for this elderly woman, and she's basically just this elderly woman's company. And she happens upon this man. She meets this man, and he's very, very rich, and he randomly proposes to her. And so she goes to live with him in Manderley, which is his huge home. And his first wife had recently died. About a year. I think it was about a year between the death of the first Mrs. De Winter, whose name was Rebecca, and then him meeting the second Mrs. De Winter. And I know that it's meant to be a thriller, and I think people pick this up because it's a mystery. But I was more interested almost in the fact that it's about a second wife feeling like the first wife is everywhere. And I'm really interested in it because I'm a second wife. Barry was married before, and I've never experienced any of the stuff that happens in Rebecca. Like, everyone seems to like crazily revere Rebecca, and she was perfect. You know, I've never had any of that, like that kind of comparison, but you are compared to the first. Barry has never like flat out compared me, and he never would, and he's wonderful, and it's never come about that way. But in my life with other people, I've definitely been compared to his first wife, and it's really awkward. It's really awkward, and I hate it. And yeah, so I had never read a book that was about that. Obviously, this book takes so many twists and turns, and Oh my goodness. It was so good. I will definitely be rereading this in my life. But yeah, 5-star read for sure. Now I need to decide what I'm going to read next. I'm going to go and look at my shelves now. Okay, so I've chosen my next book. It was actually very hard because I was really interested in both of these books. Obviously, they're all on my bookshelves, but I was really torn between them. So I read just a little bit of the Joy Luck Club and I was like, oh God, this looks so good. It just looks wonderful and right up my alley. But I ended up deciding on The Invention of Wings because it's been on my to read list for so very long. And I am looking for a book that is going to make me feel all the feels right now. And yeah, this is it. So I'm going to start reading this now. And I love this cover so much. I'm so excited. So, okay, here we go. Good, splendid day. It is day 2. Libby is in desperate need of a treat. Let's see what we can do. Hey, what do you think? Do you want a treaters? Yes, that means yes. I have to tell you, this apple jar used to live at my nanny and Poppy's house. They used to put cookies and stuff in there. So I remember it very well as a child. And my grandfather was a huge dog lover. So I put Libby's treats in there. And I think he would be very proud of that. So Libby, what do you say? Hey? What do you think? Do you want that? Yep. So time to report how I am doing. I think I'm 14 hours in. I have been getting ahead with The Time Traveler's Wife. And we are getting to the miscarriage part. And it's strange because there are bits and pieces of the miscarriage part that do resonate with me. I really love Claire. I love Claire so much. But yeah, Henry and I don't get him at all. Reading about him through the miscarriage thing is actually driving me kind of nuts. And it's talking about like Claire wanting to try again after miscarriages, and she gets pregnant and he's like, you know, this could all go horribly wrong, and kind of suggests that they get an abortion, and she says, no, I can't. And he's like, once a Catholic, always a Catholic. And I don't know, I thought that was like really disrespectful to her. And as someone who's been trying for years and years, that concept, it's just not in your head. Like, Barry would never say that. I really hate him. I think he's a horrible person. So the book is so for me, except I love Claire, so I don't know. It's just a complex book. But I think this is going to be a 3-star. I'm going to give it back to my local library after. Otherwise, I have been reading The Invention of Wings. So The Invention of Wings is about 2 girls. One of them is a white girl, and on her 11th birthday, she's given a slave as a birthday gift, which is incredibly strange. And the white girl's name is Sarah, and she's given Hattie for a gift. And it's a fascinating story. So Sarah is completely against slavery. She lives in Charleston. So she's right in the heart of the South, and totally against slavery. She doesn't want a slave as a gift. She doesn't ever want to own a slave. And Hattie is very strong and strong-willed. And she doesn't want to be a slave, obviously. No one does, or no one would. And they form a friendship, but their relationship is very complex considering the scenario. And so I guess the idea is that we follow them throughout their lives, or I believe for 30 something years of their lives. So I guess we'll follow them into their 40s. And that should be very interesting indeed. I am loving it so far, like just loving. The writing is brilliant. I'm loving these girls, and as they turn into teens and as they turn into women. I'm 120 pages in, and yeah, I'm totally glued. This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, and I'm so happy I chose this one. So I'll keep you posted. So I have taken a wee little break from the invention of wings to watch a little bit of YouTube. Here we are watching Doris. She's doing a book haul for Black History Month, which really intrigues me, so I'm excited to get into that. I ran over to the store. My hubby has, he's having some indigestion, so I went and got him some stuff for that, and naturally I got more reading materials for myself in style with Drew. I love Drew, and Oprah is like my hero in life. So I got those, and then I got myself a little snack of mini eggs. I will not eat this entire bowl. I will probably not eat this entire bowl. I'm not making any promises. Got my Diet Coke. So healthy. Yeah, so this is what's going on. Kind of a little breaky break, and then I'll get back into it. So I am 200, just over 200 pages into the invention of wings. And this whole storyline is taking all of these turns that I never expected. I'm enjoying it a lot. When I first started it, it felt like it was going to be a lot like the kitchen house, but it's turning out to be very, very different from the kitchen house, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's really about freedom for women in the 19th century, freedom for blacks in the 19th century, and just the importance of freedom and fighting for it. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I've got a few hours left in the 24-hour Readathon. I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to reach 24 hours. I might have to stay up until 11 or something like that to do that, and I don't do that a lot anymore. I like to go to bed at 10. So we shall see. I will let you know as the night goes on how far I get. Hey guys, so it's 20 hours into the 24 and 48. And I think I'm going to stop right there. It's nearly 9 o'clock on Sunday, and I just finished reading The Invention of Wings by Sue Monk Kidd, and I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't know that this was actually based on a true story. It's inspired by a true story, I should say. I think Sue Monk Kidd found out about two sisters, and she wanted to write about sisters. And she learned about these two sisters and wrote this whole story. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I was totally sucked into the main characters. I felt for the main characters so much. I had a harder time with secondary characters. I found a lot of secondary characters were kind of forgotten about, and I really like it when an author is able to allow all of those secondary characters to have their own story, and for us to find out about their own story as well a little bit. And sometimes I found that a secondary character would come in and then they would just abruptly leave, and there wouldn't be a resolution or any conclusion really about that character. So I struggled with that, but I was totally sucked into this story, and I flipped the pages really quickly. It's an easy read, and really inspiring too. So, yes, I finished that. Thank goodness. That was on my TBR for so long, as you know. So that is done, and I'm really glad that I chose that. I have no idea what I'm going to read next. I don't think I'm going to go searching for anything tonight because it's so late and I've been reading for 20 hours. So I think I'm done. But I really enjoyed this challenge. Like, I loved this weekend. I feel like I had a full weekend. I don't know about you, but sometimes with weekends, they can kind of get away from you if you've been really busy, or sometimes I find if I'm like on Facebook too long or have just watched movies or something all weekend, it can just slip away from you. And I really felt like I enjoyed my weekend and I really had some downtime, and yeah, loved it. Anyway, did you participate in the 24 and 48 hour marathon readathon thing? And if you did, what books did you read? If you didn't participate, what books did you read this weekend? I would love to know. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.